What's going on, Cobra Kai fans? We've got some great news, huge news in fact. We have confirmation that Miguel versus Axel is going to happen in Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3, and that's coming from series creator Hayden Schlossberg himself. And guys, I am so excited to break down this confirmation to you today. But before we dive in, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button down below for videos on Cobra Kai, Marvel, DC, movies, TV, and more. Come on back to Geekly Goods for more content, and let's dive into this update, you guys, because series creator Hayden Schlossberg asked fans on Twitter, AMA, essentially asked me anything about Cobra Kai, and I will answer honestly. And what was great about this Q&A is that you could ask any question, and there's 989 responses. Guys, I'm gonna comb through a lot of these comments and be making videos out of this comment, but I will definitely be starting with this one coming from one user who asks, are we going to see more of Miguel and Axel's rivalry in Part 3? And series creator Hayden Schlossberg says, yes. Now, I know that's not a huge answer, there's not a lot to break down there, but that basically confirms that we are going to see more Miguel and Axel rivalry, which is great, guys, because there was a lot of tension between these two characters in Part 2, and I cannot wait to see them duke it out in Part 3. But guys, let me break down 3 scenarios that I think could happen between Miguel and Axel, from most likely to least likely. So let's start with our most likely scenario, which I think is going to be the two of them duking it out on the mat. Now, this could very well happen at the Sekai Taikai, or they could decide to go ahead and end this entire series back in the valley, and maybe Axel finds his way back into the valley in an all-valley tournament between Miguel. And man, I would love to see this showdown. You guys already know I would love to see these two duke it out. Listen, Axel's got the size, but I think Miguel has the battle IQ to figure out how he can actually defeat Axel. And maybe he got a little teaser of Axel's fighting style back in the Sekai Taikai brawl, so it's possible that Miguel studied some of his moves and knows how to combat Axel in case he does end up fighting him on the mat. And wow, I would love to see this happen. I could see the Sekai Taikai discontinuing after what happened with Quan, or I could honestly see it continuing to happen. Maybe there's some kind of stipulation in the rules that they must go on. Maybe Quan did survive. Who knows? The Sekai Taikai could continue, or maybe they take it back to the valley. But that is my first scenario, is that they will meet each other on the mat, duke it out, and it's gonna happen. My second scenario is that maybe Miguel and Axel will confront each other off the mat. Maybe there will be a street scuffle between the two of them, and they will work it out fist to fist, and maybe between the battle they start talking to one another, getting to know one another, and maybe there are some common threads between the two of them that could make them actually decide to quit the battle and maybe even become friends. Who knows? It's possible that we could see Axel head on over to Miguel's side. We know this show is about switching sides. We've seen Robbie switch to Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, and back to Cobra Kai, back to Miyagi-Do. We've seen Tori switch to Miyagi-Do and then back to Cobra Kai. It's very possible that Axel leaves the Iron Dragons and becomes part of Miyagi-Do, or if Miguel does join Cobra Kai, maybe he becomes part of Cobra Kai with Miguel and that they become friends. Now, my last and least likely scenario is that it's possible that after Quan's death, Axel might be traumatized, and maybe he's too traumatized to fight at this point, and I know I would be, so I would not blame this character for being too traumatized to carry this on anyway. So it's possible that maybe, just maybe, Axel backs out of fighting altogether, or he does duke it out with Miguel and maybe decides, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this Sekai Taikai after taking the life of someone, and maybe he feels that he's at fault. There's so many scenarios that could happen in this matchup, but I think the most likely scenario is we're gonna have them duking it out on the mat. Our boy Miguel is gonna win. Let's be 100% real. I think this series is leading up to be Miguel versus Robbie at the end. But guys, y'all gotta let me know, are you hyped for Miguel versus Axel? I definitely think we're going to see the two of them duke it out on the mat, and I cannot wait. Listen, I know Miguel is my favorite character and some of y'all's favorite character, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And hey, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more Cobra Kai, Marvel, DC, movies, TV, and more. And guys, we'll be working on more Cobra Kai videos because there's over 900 comments to go through on this post. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.